Big exciting news as we continue at the bottom of the hour as new comments from President Donald Trump overnight, in which he says he will get a deal done and he'll get the GOP to agree to the deal within 2 seconds. Meantime, Nancy Pelosi says that she can hatch a deal in the next 48 hours. Is there too much false optimism, or do they know something we don't know? Big developments, big details, and this is the second half hour of Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Morning to LALATE. It's 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and boy, it is an exciting day in which we have big developments across the board. Overnight, two things happened, and those are what I'm going to touch on in this video. First, President Donald Trump spoke about getting stimulus done legislatively, and he was asked point blank yet again whether he can get the GOP on point, and he says he is ready and will. They will do exactly what he wants to do, and he said he's ready to sign a deal right now. Next, Nancy Pelosi had a new written statement she issued to her colleagues overnight, and in it she has renewed optimism that she thinks the deal is going to be hatched by tomorrow. Okay. We've heard it before, but let's see what's happening. Go to the front of the channel, subscribe, because we're going to get through this together. Also, like this video. Meantime, if you want to chat while watching this live premiere, that's the wonders of a live premiere, go to the right of this video and you'll see a live chat function in which you can chat with one another, and you can interact, and you can also super chat. All very exciting. Let's get to the breaking details. The breaking details include great comments from President Donald Trump overnight. President Trump said during an interview with Charles Benson of WTMJK Milwaukee on Saturday that he would get the GOP to support anything that he does for a stimulus package, no matter how big it is. Benson asked the president, "You have put $1.8 trillion on the table. Will there be even more money by election day? Do you have a deal?" 3 question marks. Trump replied, "I want the money by tonight." But Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to approve it because she thinks it's good politically for her not to approve it. She wants to bail out poorly run Democratic states, and we don't want to do that. I don't think she wants to approve it anyway. I think even if we gave her the money for the poorly run Democratic states, I don't think she would approve it anyway. Benson then asked whether or not he would have support from GOP senators. And the president said he would take care of that problem in 2 minutes. This is the president talking, if I had something that would be good, meaning the deal with Nancy Pelosi, I think I could quickly convince the Republicans to do it. They're ready to do it, but Nancy Pelosi does not want to do it. I mean, I wish your governor would call up Nancy Pelosi and say, "Do it." He's speaking to the reporter, the Milwaukee reporter. She wants to hold it until after the election, and I think it's bad for the Democrats. But I'm ready, willing, and able. If they send a bill over, I'm ready, willing, and able. I want a higher number than Pelosi wanted. There we go again with that. Higher than the Democrats, higher than Pelosi wants. Ironically, the president is higher than Pelosi on stimulus checks. He's at $1,200. She's at $500 for adult dependents. He's at $1,000 for children. She's at $500 for children. But other across the board, he's generally not more than Nancy Pelosi. He's a 1.5, 1.85, 1.8. She's still at 2.2. Now, Trump also said that he'll go higher. I'll go higher on her number. That was China's fault. They caused this problem. They're going to pay for this problem. Now, on the other hand, Nancy Pelosi spoke overnight, issued a press statement overnight, in which she suggested that she thinks the deal could be hatched in the next 48 hours. This is different than her statement on ABC News Sunday morning. Rather, this press release issued Sunday night suggests there could be a hope. Coronavirus negotiations proceeded over the weekend, with Secretary Mnuchin sending a weighted language on testing. While there was some encouraging news, work remains. A little bit too much about this language on testing. They've been doing this since Thursday, and he said, I agree to your language on testing, so why are we still hearing about language on testing? The White House assured Democrats that they would accept our language on testing with a light touch. Unfortunately, as the committees of jurisdiction reviewed the White House's language provision by provision, it became clear that the changes are not a light touch but a deep dive. Okay. On this one, I'm going to defer to Steve, and I'm going to say, Steve, just do her darn language. Don't touch anything. And let's just proceed with multiple stimulus checks. I mean, really, it's been dealing 4 days on language of testing. These unacceptable changes are not included to refuse to do science-based national plan. Okay, well, I'm not going to go over to the testing issue. Then she talks about paragraph 4, children. Paragraph 5, children. Children are further affected negatively and then the next paragraph, children are also shortcoming. Then the next paragraph, funds for schools and more children. There are a few of the, let me skip that part, obviously. Then she gets to something of substance. There are a few other issues that were discussed over the weekend, but they're not exhaustive of our concerns. We're hoping to find common ground. And then came this, at the end of the statement. I'm optimistic that we can reach an agreement before the election. To that end, we are writing language as we negotiate the priorities so that we're fully prepared to move forward once we reach agreement. That's really strange the way she phrases that. Let's read that again. I'm optimistic that we can reach an agreement before the election. Okay, I got that. You're optimistic. I've heard that before. But let's read this next sentence. To that end, we are writing language as we negotiate the priorities, and we're fully prepared to move forward once we reach agreement. I just... maybe I need some $12 ice cream to understand that sentence. I don't understand. She's ready to reach an agreement and is writing the priorities once she reaches the agreement. Okay, I don't get that. Updates will be ongoing as our chairs continue to review language for liability, OSHA, small business, that's PPP, healthcare, and elections. Hopefully we'll make progress to report on our conference call tomorrow. Thank you for our leadership. Stay safe. What's interesting is that she's basically saying that she has these subcommittees that oversee different issues. One for PPP, one for healthcare, and that what they're doing now is battling over language. They're not battling over dollar amounts. The question is whether that really is much of nothing or much of something. They're he's at 185, she's at 22, and they're battling over language. Well, you're still that far apart on numbers, and yet the multiple stimulus checks. So what is my opinion? Because you're always asking me my opinion. I think this is much of nothing. I just don't see this as anything but a carrot string and an attempt to show that she's doing something when she's doing much of nothing. Remember, this is Nancy Pelosi, who weeks ago said that she was going to stop negotiations because they hadn't come to exactly what she wanted, and the problem solvers told her, don't stop, keep on working. And then she's like, well, I'll work one more day. Now she's working a week or 2 more weeks, and all her work is chatting on the phone 1 hour a day to go over their homework for the night before. Multiple stimulus checks for you? Not. Hazard pay? Not. Full stimulus checks for dependents? Not. What is to be excited in this bill, Nancy? Nothing, except bailouts for state and local. That's why focus needs to be on executive orders, because there's only really one person that could potentially have your thoughts in mind. It's the president. Executive orders with $800 billion of unclaimed PPP that could be reapportioned and repurposed for 2 stimulus checks, one for $2,000 and another for $2,000, and then use the remainder of the money for FPUC. What I need to tell you and make very clear to you is that on Friday, Larry Kudlow, who is notorious for giving false positives, being too optimistic of the situation, he said to press, I don't think Nancy Pelosi is ever going to do a deal before the election. Okay, this is Mr. Positive being super negative. The president overnight, in an interview last night, if you saw the video right before this, also said that there's not going to be a deal from Nancy Pelosi. So with that, you need executive orders. Executive orders, especially if you watched 28 yesterday. In 28, which was one of our most watched videos of the day, I went over how the polls are so close in the swing states and that sending out stimulus checks could give the president the win because he needs a few more swing states to pick up and he's too far behind in too many of them. But let me go over some of the incredible comments from yesterday. Ben Hurt, it's so rare that American voters get to hold their elected senators, representatives, and presidents accountable for their actions in such a short order. Vote purple power. Vote them all out. I love that. Jody, this is ridiculous. We should just pitch tents. Roxana, good morning, LA. Let's go, man. Let's get to the finish line. Amen. Jackie Marini, call me what you will. No stimulus check for me and my 53. We should not have to beg. Well, this is America, and everything's a hustle in America. Nothing's easy in this country anymore. We all realized that a while ago. That was the spirit of this channel when I first got into this. Channel, which was no one was getting their EIDL loans and grants. Can you imagine how much work they put in with my help, with my telling them to call? They all got it in the end, but it was work, and so America's not easy anymore. Malin Razmilla, $2,000 for independence since everyone is hurting like they are. Amen. Tom, this is beyond ridiculous. Joseph Garcia, they're not going to give us stimulus every month. They're not even doing anything. Daniel Sanchez, let's tweet, no stimulus, no vote. Albert, when you have people in office that think they're superior to the voters, it's time to replace them. I love that comment. Nancy Pelosi over the weekend says, you don't know what you're talking about because you haven't read the bill. She told Wilf Blitzer, a news reporter, whose job is to know what he's interviewing someone about, says, you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't seen the bill. The bill's public information. Corby, I just can't believe what's going on. Scott, if they would give us the stimulus checks, everything would be fine. Susie, we the Americans will believe it when it's in our banks. Leslie, why won't Trump just send the darn checks? Jen, wow, our government's totally failed the American people. Ronnie, the legislators are tossing us bricks instead of life vests. Well, it's a good new morning, and I want you to stay positive, stay focused, stay in touch. The coffee's brewing, the bacon's on the griddle, the butter's buttering, and the toast is toasting. I'm here, you're here, and I really appreciate you for joining me this morning. If you missed the 6 a.m. broadcast, it's linked in the video's links above. And if you're still viewing this as a live premiere, you can shack with your friends while this video continues to roll. Meantime, join me at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Mornings LALATE, in which I'll have more updates, a longer video with a lot more coverage, and then stay with me for 28 at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay with LA for more.